Hey everyone, Charles here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I want to talk about a real life case that, has a lot of important lessons for people over 50, for families, for just anyone who has elderly parents or grandparents that are living on their own. It's the story that's in the news today about an 84-year-old woman. She disappeared from her home in Tucson. And as more information comes out, it just reminded me of something that I learned in my 21 years in law enforcement. Most tragedies, they don't happen because of one big failure. They happen because several small things that could have made a difference if they had been in place ahead of time. So instead of focusing on what anyone did or didn't do, I want to talk about just some practical lessons that people like us, like you, can take from situations like this. Because preparation and awareness, it really can change everything. So let's dive right on in. Lesson number one is about cameras and visibility. One of the first things that investigators look for whenever any missing person case comes out is surveillance footage. They look for videos because videos, they give direction. It it gives timelines. It gives investigators something concrete to work with. The lesson for us is simple. The more visibility around your home, the less attractive your home is to someone looking for trouble. And that means cameras covering entry points, motion lights around the house, and just clear sight lines to doors and driveways. Criminals, they don't usually choose a house that looks alert and protected. They choose the one that looks quiet, dark, and easy. So lesson number two is the small clues. They can become big evidence. In many cases, the smallest things, the smallest little things that's out of place, they could be the biggest clues in solving a lot of these crimes. So something as simple as just a broken light, like in this case, they had the broken security light. And I think that this might have been missed early on, and they had to go back and collect this. Or just a disturbed object, anything out of place, like a pot plant or anything. You can see where a pot or anything had been sitting. It was moved a little bit, and you can see the ring. There's several different clues that law enforcement uses to solve these cases. Maybe a vehicle that was seen in the area, and a neighbor may have seen it. We've got to check on these things. And law enforcement officers, this is what they do whenever they go out on a missing person case. It's pretty fast paced because time is of the essence here. And so somebody may have seen a vehicle in the area. Those details often tell investigators what direction to go to, what direction we need to look at. And the lesson here is just about awareness, being aware, paying attention to your surroundings. And if something feels out of place, like a light is suddenly broken, there's some glass or something, a gate is left open, or someone circling the neighborhood, you know, don't ignore it. Make a note of it. Tell someone, call the police department if something looks out of character in your neighborhood. Your awareness, it could be just the difference that a case like this makes. And let me give you just one little scenario. Say you see a suspicious vehicle driving around in the neighborhood and it's out of place. They're driving slow or whatever. Call the police department and make a report of it. It's on file. Try to get a license plate. It's on file. Who knows, a day or two later, one of these type cases may come to light, a missing person case in your area, and the police department can go back and say, hey, we had a vehicle reported, a suspicious vehicle, and they may have that information. It may never come to fruition. It may never, nothing may ever come, but it may. So your awareness, it could make a difference. Lesson number 3 is not every message or call is what it seems. You know, in this case, a ransom note, it was sent out to media outlets. Situations like this, that can create confusion and distraction. You know, for everyday people, the lesson of this is like this. You know, not every phone call, not every letter, or not every message is going to be legitimate. There are people out there that may try to profit off of something like this. So every message, every call, letter, anything, it will be thoroughly investigated. And it will be immediately, because like I said, time is of the essence. Law enforcement takes everything serious, every call serious when it comes to a missing person report. You know, scammers and criminals, they often target seniors. You know, they have fake emergencies. They'll call and have this fake emergency. Your granddaughter or your grandson is in jail, and I can get them out right now, but I have to have $500. If you can fax it, I mean, if you can wire the 500, and they prey on the elderly people, because elderly people, they was not taught. They did not experience all this in their years. They grew up in a different world, so everything is taken for true, you know, in most of our elderly people. So they don't know. And yes, they'll just go ahead and do it just like that. And next thing you know, their bank accounts have been seized by these scammers. You know, they'll have fake ransom calls and fake delivery notices, fake bank alerts. You know, you get them on your cell phones. And I mean, it's best to not click on these things, because more than likely it's going to be fake. You know, so the rule is simple. Verify everything before you react. Call a family member, call the police, call the bank directly. Don't push the button on your phone or in your email. Call your bank and talk to them directly. But don't trust a message just because it sounds urgent. Lesson number 4 is strong home security. It really is a deterrent. You know, one of the biggest lessons in cases involving seniors is that prevention matters more than reaction. You know, basic home security, it can stop a crime before it ever starts. And some of the simple steps includes monitored home alert systems. And a lot of people can't afford these monthly subscriptions to, you know, police departments and these alert systems, you know, but you can get the Ring type or Nest doorbells, and those subscription, I have a Ring, and it's those subscriptions are like $30 a year $30-something a year. And that's something to consider, because the recordings go into the cloud, and it stays there, and probably for I think maybe 60 days or so. So just a small subscription to one camera at your front door could be what prevents a crime at your house or any other things. And also solid door locks and deadbolts. These things, that I'm mentioning are something that we can do for our parents and grandparents. Motion lighting, have you some motion lights on each end of the house. When someone walks up, the light comes on. That's a deterrent. And cameras at the entry points. If you just have a camera at the front entry where it catches someone coming up, that's better than no camera at all. And make sure that you have these monthly subscriptions or annual subscriptions so that you never lose these videos. And it can't be wiped unless the person has the password. Criminals are looking for opportunity. And when a home looks protected, they usually move on. Lesson number 5 is technology. It can be your lifeline. Yeah. Today, many seniors, they use pacemakers. Like in this case, 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, she had a pacemaker that was connected to her Apple Watch. And this is something that I've tried to figure out during this investigation, is if it's connected to your Apple Watch, why didn't it go to the next of kin or a contact person whenever it disconnected at whatever time? And that's a question, that many of us have. But I'm not questioning, what took place or anything like that. I'm just trying to figure out myself, why did that happen? But many seniors, they have pacemakers, they have the medical alert devices. A lot of my mother-in-law, she had the necklace with the alert device on her that hung on her neck. And if she fell, she could hit that button and it went straight to this company, and they would call the police department. So these are things that, if you don't have these things for your elderly parents or grandparents, consider looking into them. These are pretty reasonable. And the smartwatches and, fitness trackers or whatever, these devices can provide important information in emergencies. It's something that law enforcement can get into and see what happened over the past however long that these devices go back to. And it can be very helpful in solving these kind of cases. They'll show the last time someone was active. They'll even detect a fall. My Apple Watch right now, sometimes I'll get a buzz on here. I don't know why, but it'll say, "You have fallen. Can I call the emergency contact," or something like, I don't remember exactly what it says, but I haven't even fallen, but still it's there. And if I did fall, it's going to notify my emergency contact if I hit the button or something. I think you have to verify it. I don't know. I've never had to do it, but I have had the alert on my Apple Watch that I have fallen, and it wants me to verify. It alerts family members, and it will help narrow down timelines. The lesson here is to just embrace helpful technology. Don't avoid it. Embrace it, because especially in our older population, it's something that can be very helpful, very useful in maybe saving their life. You know, just a small device on your wrist or around your neck, it really can save your life. So, you know, the truth here is you don't have to live in fear, but you do need to live with awareness. You know, most crimes, they happen because someone saw an opportunity. And the goal isn't to become paranoid. The goal is just to be prepared. That's it. We have to be more prepared in today's society. You know, lock the doors, turn on the lights, install cameras, stay connected to your family every day. This is very important. Stay connected to your family. Make a phone call in the mornings or in the evenings just to check on your family. And pay attention to your surroundings. Very important. Pay attention to your surroundings. Those small habits, they create a big layer of protection. So listen, if you're over 50 or you have parents or grandparents that are living alone, these are just some things that we need to think about right now. You know, not after something happens, because you know what? Something has happened. It's all over the news, and it's raising awareness to everyone right now. Everyone is questioning, can I do more? What can I do? And this is good. It's a bad situation, but something good can come out of bad situations, because safety, it's not about fear. It's about preparation, awareness, and, you know, just making smart choices before trouble ever shows up. So listen, if this video has helped you today, if it's helped you to reflect on your family and think about some things that you may need to do in preparation for your elderly parents or grandparents or yourself, if you're 50 and above, these are things that we should be looking at for ourselves. So if it's helped you any, like this video for me. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our content. Thank you all for joining me today. Be safe, be prepared, and be aware of your surroundings. And listen, I'll see you all in that next video.